Humanity has always been captivated by the unknown. For as long as we have told stories around fires, we have whispered tales of worlds that have vanished from our sight. We speak of magnificent cities swallowed whole by the relentless jungle, buried beneath the shifting sands of time. These are not merely fairy tales. They are expressions of a deep and enduring human longing. Think of the legends that have echoed through the centuries: El Dorado, Atlantis. These stories are more than a desire for wealth or forgotten knowledge. They speak to our curiosity about civilizations that came before us and the achievements they may have reached before disappearing. For centuries, brave explorers and archaeologists ventured into the most inhospitable corners of the globe, armed with little more than worn maps, shovels, and an unshakable belief. The search continued, passed down generation to generation. Romance of adventure met painstaking scientific inquiry. This is the story of how our dream of finding lost worlds meets a new reality powered by technology that lets us see through the Earth, revealing secrets that have been kept for millennia. The transition from whispered legend to a tangible mark on a map has always been the ultimate goal of exploration. For most of human history, this process was painstakingly slow and fraught with uncertainty. Early adventurers relied on fragmented local accounts, often embellished over time. This age-old quest, however, is now undergoing a profound transformation. We stand at the dawn of a new era of exploration. Today, our greatest explorers are not always hacking through vines with machetes, but are often sitting in laboratories, analyzing streams of digital data. Perhaps no legend of a lost city shines brighter in the human imagination than that of El Dorado. The story began not with a city of gold, but with a man. It spoke of a ritual performed by the Muisca people in the highlands of what is now Colombia. A new king, as part of his inauguration, would be covered in gold dust. Over time, this story of a golden man evolved. The tale of a single golden king transformed into a legend of an entire kingdom paved with gold. This gilded phantom drove generations of conquistadors and adventurers into a feverish and often fatal obsession. The search for El Dorado became one of history's most tragic and destructive treasure hunts. From the shimmering heat of the jungle, we turn to the cold, dark depths of the ocean. Here lies the most famous lost civilization of all, Atlantis. The Greek thinker Plato wrote of it around 360 BC. He described a magnificent island nation located beyond the Pillars of Hercules. This was a utopia, a perfect society. But Plato's story was not one of triumph. It was a cautionary tale. He wrote that the people of Atlantis grew arrogant and corrupt. Their moral decay angered the gods. For Plato, Atlantis was a political allegory. He likely never intended for his readers to believe it was a real place. Yet, for over 2 millennia, people have done exactly that. Not all lost cities are pure myth. Some were once very real, thriving centers of civilization, reclaimed by nature. The great temple complex of Angkor in Cambodia is one such place. While its central temple, Angkor Wat, was never truly lost, the vast urban sprawl that surrounded it disappeared from view. A similar story unfolded deep in the Sierra Nevada mountains of Colombia. Here, hidden on steep, terraced slopes, lay Tayuna, a city built by the Tairona people around 800 AD. Early archaeologists who studied these sites faced immense challenges. The thick jungle canopy blocked their view, making it impossible to map the full extent of the settlements. Why do these stories hold such a powerful grip on us? The human need for lost cities runs deeper than a simple love of adventure or a desire for treasure. It touches upon a fundamental aspect of our psychology, the hope that we have not yet discovered everything. The idea of a lost city offers a pocket of pure mystery. These myths also serve as a powerful connection to our own past. They are a way of imagining the lives of our ancestors on a grand and epic scale. The romance of the quest itself is a vital part of its appeal. For centuries, this was the only way to search. For centuries, the greatest obstacle to finding lost cities has been nature itself. The dense triple canopy jungle is a living curtain, a suffocating blanket of green that hides the ground from view. But what if you could magically strip away all that vegetation? This is precisely the power of a remarkable technology called LiDAR. The name stands for light detection and ranging. It is a laser that allows us to see through the trees. Imagine a small aircraft flying methodically over a vast, unexplored stretch of jungle. This device fires down hundreds of thousands of laser pulses every single second. The instrument measures the tiny amount of time it takes for each laser pulse to make this round trip. Once the data is collected, powerful computers get to work. They can be programmed to filter out all the data points that represent vegetation. What is left behind is a stark, bare earth model. It is a ghostly, intricate three-dimensional map of the ground itself, revealing every lump, bump, and depression with centimeter-level accuracy. While LiDAR is perfect for peeling back the forest canopy, other lost worlds are buried not by trees, but by the open sands of the desert or the soils of agricultural plains. To find these, we look even higher. For decades, we have used satellites to map our world, but modern instruments can see far more than our eyes can. They use multispectral imaging and radar imaging to detect subtle clues on Earth's surface. Another powerful tool is synthetic aperture radar, or SAR. Unlike optical satellites, radar can see through clouds and can even penetrate a few inches or feet into dry sand or loose soil. A buried stone foundation will reflect the radar signal differently than the loose sand around it. This allows archaeologists to map ancient riverbeds or find building foundations in the middle of the desert. We now have tools that can generate unimaginable amounts of data. A single LiDAR survey can produce trillions of data points. The sheer volume is far too vast for any human team to analyze effectively. This is where our third revolutionary tool comes in: artificial intelligence. AI is the ghost in the machine. A digital archaeologist that can learn, recognize patterns, and find the needle in the haystack. Archaeologists are training AI models to think like them. They feed the AI thousands of examples of known sites in LiDAR scans and satellite images. The AI learns the signatures of human activity. Once trained, the AI is unleashed on massive data sets. It can sift 1,000 square miles of jungle in hours. The AI doesn't replace archaeologists. It becomes a tireless research assistant. These three tools, LiDAR, satellite imaging, artificial intelligence, are powerful on their own. But their true revolutionary potential is unlocked when they are used together. The process often begins from orbit. A team might start with satellite imagery to survey a massive, promising region, using AI to scan these images for large-scale anomalies. This allows them to narrow down a search area of thousands of square miles to a more manageable zone. They are moving from the macro to the micro. With a promising zone identified, the team can then deploy a more detailed survey, such as an airborne LiDAR scan. This new layer of data is then laid directly on top of the satellite map. For the archaeologist, the culmination of this entire process is a moment of pure, unadulterated discovery. It is a modern-day eureka, moment that happens not in a bathtub, but in front of a computer screen. After months or even years of planning, data collection, and processing, the final filtered bare earth model is ready. The researcher hits a button. On their monitor, the green chaos of the jungle canopy dissolves away. In its place, a ghost city materializes out of the digital noise. It is a moment that researchers say is difficult to describe. This new method reveals the entire city all at once. It is the difference between finding a single puzzle piece and having the entire puzzle box image revealed instantly. In 2018, the world of archaeology was stunned. A team of researchers, part of a consortium called PACUNAM, released the results of a massive LiDAR survey over the Petén region of northern Guatemala. This is the heartland of the ancient Maya civilization. But what the survey revealed went far beyond anyone's expectations. As the digital deforestation erased the jungle canopy from over 800 square miles of terrain, a lost world of breathtaking complexity emerged. The data revealed more than 60,000 previously unknown structures. The survey uncovered extensive systems of agricultural terraces and irrigation canals, demonstrating an ability to manipulate the landscape and sustain a population far larger than ever estimated. The LiDAR scans detected defensive features everywhere: ramparts, moats, and fortress walls. This discovery painted a new picture of the classic Maya period. For the archaeologists who had spent their lives excavating small sections of this jungle on foot, it was a staggering revelation, the equivalent of finding out that medieval London was actually the size of modern-day Tokyo. Half a world away in the humid plains of Cambodia, LiDAR was solving another of history's great puzzles. The magnificent stone temples of Angkor were the enduring heart of the Khmer Empire. For years, scholars knew that a vast city must have surrounded these temples, but its true extent remained a mystery. The homes and public buildings were made of wood and thatch, materials that had long since rotted away. Beginning in 2012, an international team led by Dr. Damien Evans conducted a sweeping airborne LiDAR survey over the greater Angkor region. The results were nothing short of a paradigm shift. As the lasers peeled back the vegetation, a vast and intricate urban grid appeared. The scans revealed a geometric network of city blocks connected by a grid of canals and roads. Perhaps the most astonishing discovery was the sheer scale and complexity of the water management system. This system was the lifeblood of the empire, used for irrigation, transportation, and flood control. The city was not just built on the landscape. It was a colossal hydraulic machine that sustained a population estimated at up to 1 million people at its peak in the 13th century. The power of new technology is not limited to finding what is hidden beneath the trees. In the arid coastal plains of southern Peru, the Nazca culture created hundreds of enormous geoglyphs. In recent years, researchers from Yamagata University in Japan have partnered with Peruvian archaeologists, using a new approach combining drones with AI analysis. They trained the AI to recognize the subtle patterns that characterize these ancient lines. The machine could analyze the vast desert landscape with patience and precision no human could match. The results have been astonishing. Since 2019, this AI-assisted method has led to the discovery of over 160 new Nazca lines, many belonging to earlier cultures. The Amazon rainforest has long been considered one of the last great wildernesses on Earth, a pristine environment too hostile to have ever supported large, complex societies. This long-held assumption has been utterly shattered by recent discoveries, particularly in the Llanos de Mojos region of Bolivia and the Upano Valley of Ecuador. In Bolivia, LiDAR scans revealed a landscape that was anything but natural. Beneath the canopy, researchers found a dense network of settlements belonging to the Casarabe culture. Most incredibly, the entire landscape was crisscrossed by a massive water control infrastructure of canals and reservoirs, designed to manage annual floods and make the land suitable for farming. Even more recently, in early 2024, an even more surprising discovery was announced in Ecuador. A LiDAR survey of the Upano Valley uncovered a dense cluster of lost cities. The scans revealed thousands of rectangular earthen platforms arranged around plazas and connected by wide, straight roads. This was a vast, interconnected agrarian civilization that existed 2 millennia ago. Each of these discoveries is spectacular on its own, but when viewed together, they represent something far more significant. They are not just adding footnotes to our history books. They are forcing us to tear out entire chapters and start again. Powered by these new technologies, we are entering a golden age of archaeology. The most consistent surprise is one of scale and density. Ancient civilizations were larger, more widespread, more organized. This forces us to ask new and more complex questions. It is no longer enough to ask how a temple was built. We must now ask how an entire hydraulic landscape supporting 1 million people was managed for centuries. Ultimately, these discoveries are a humbling reminder of how much we still do not know. They reveal that history is not a static, finished story, but a dynamic and evolving one. The biggest surprise of all may be the realization that we are likely still at the very beginning of this process. The maps are being redrawn, and the story of humanity is proving to be far grander and more mysterious than we ever knew. We began this journey with the enduring myths of humanity, the whispered tales of golden cities and sunken continents. We followed the footsteps of brave explorers who ventured into the unknown. Now, we find ourselves in a new landscape of discovery, where the romantic quest of old has merged with the precise power of modern technology. This fusion of myth and machine has not diminished the wonder. It has amplified it, turning legendary whispers into tangible, awe-inspiring reality. We are compiling a new atlas of the human past, one where the blank spaces are being filled in with astonishing speed, revealing a planet more profoundly shaped by our ancestors than we ever dared imagine. However, this new age of discovery brings profound responsibilities. As we digitally uncover thousands of new sites, we expose them to new dangers. The relationship with local and indigenous communities is paramount. These are not just data points. They are the ancestral homes of living people. Ethical archaeology demands that we work in partnership. The challenge extends to the data itself. The sheer volume of information being generated is creating a digital deluge, and access to this technology is not evenly distributed around the world. As we move forward, we must ensure that these tools of revelation are made accessible to all, fostering a truly global effort to understand our shared human story. We now stand at a thrilling threshold, looking out over a landscape of immense possibility. LiDAR, satellite imaging, artificial intelligence are still in their infancy. They are becoming cheaper, more powerful, and more accessible every year. What we have found so far, as breathtaking as it is almost certainly just the beginning. We have only scanned a tiny fraction of the Amazon, the Congo Basin, other vast, unexplored regions of our planet. The great age of exploration is not over. The tools themselves will continue to evolve in ways we can barely predict. Future satellites may penetrate deeper into soil. Next-generation AI may learn to identify structures and even chemical signatures of ancient human activity. As these technologies are combined and refined, our ability to reconstruct the past will become ever more detailed. We may one day walk through virtual reality reconstructions of lost cities, accurate down to individual houses and garden plots. This journey has shown us that our planet is a vast museum, with most of its galleries still locked. The ground beneath our feet is a library, and we have only just learned how to read the first few words of its oldest books. The myths of El Dorado and Atlantis were born from a deep human intuition, a sense that great stories were lying dormant, waiting for rediscovery. That intuition was right. Not in the literal sense of golden pavements or sunken super races, but in the profound truth that entire worlds lay hidden from our view, their scale and complexity beyond our wildest dreams. And so, we are left with the most tantalizing question of all. As we continue to scan the deserts, map the seafloor, and peer beneath the canopies of the world's great forests, what else might still be hidden? What other magnificent civilizations, what other epic human stories are still lying in silence, waiting for a pulse of light or a clever algorithm to awaken them from their slumber? The search has only just begun, and the greatest discoveries may be yet to come.